Today we're going to be talking about a sore subject for me personally because I happen to own a Jeep Wrangler and a Bronco at the same time. Now, for any of you guys that have bought a car within the last few years, or if you follow the car market pretty regularly, you will remember during COVID how crazy all the prices were on a lot of the vehicles, especially the harder to get vehicles. Just like the Bronco Raptor you see behind me, they were going for well over stickers, sometimes $10,000, $20,000, just because they were hard to get your hands on for a little while. Same thing for the Rubicon 392. They came out for a pretty aggressive price, but they were quickly sold for $10,000, $15,000 over at dealerships. Well, now that it's been years since the big rush, a lot of the car market has slowed down. Now, for those of you that don't know, I work in the car business full time, and I've had pretty much every job in the car dealership you can think of. As of right now, I have been selling a lot of Broncos and Jeep Wranglers, and the prices have been really scaring me, I'm not gonna lie. Just the other day, I sold a Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon with all the equipment, leather, had the steel bumpers front and rear, and all the features you can think of, aside from the One Touch. It was a 2018 with 40,000 miles. Sure, it is 7 years old, but still yet, to be able to buy a JL for $30,000 with under 50,000 miles of fully equipped Rubicon is pretty crazy. That's never happened until about now. And for the Broncos, we've been selling a lot of those that are the traditional style Broncos, not the Raptors, for around $40,000. There have been some that have skipped right under $40,000 for some lower equipped or higher mileage Broncos, but still, that's pretty crazy. Now, whenever we're talking about more of these specialty vehicles, I have been selling a lot of these Rubicon 392s with really low mileage, 2023, 2024s, and we've been selling them in the 70s, low to mid 70s, depending on options, equipment, and mileage. For the Bronco Raptor, I have one right now, a 2023 that's equipped pretty well, and it's got under 10,000 miles. We're selling it right over $70,000. Now, that is a far cry from what these things were going for even about a year ago. In January of 2024, I bought this Bronco Raptor you see behind me, and it was about $96,000. It might have been $94,000, I can't remember, but at that time, they were still going over sticker. My local dealer was still trying to sell them for $10,000 over, so I drove all the way down to Atlanta to get this one for what I thought was one of the greatest deals on the market. Because keep in mind, these things were going for $10,000, $20,000 over. As for the Rubicon 392, I actually placed the first order ever on the Rubicon 392 whenever I still worked for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Now, for that vehicle, I actually got it at invoice because that was the dealership I had previously worked at. So it worked out great, but at the same time I paid invoice for this, dealerships were selling them for $10,000 to $15,000 over. Now, the sticker price on that one was about $80,000. I think it was high 70s, like 78. But still yet, a lot of dealerships were getting 95 out of these even before the pricing change. Now, if we skip to 2022, 2023, whenever Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram did their pricing adjustment, as well as Ford did their pricing adjustment on things like the Broncos, you saw a $10,000 increase pretty much across the board. Now, they justified that by the expense of putting these vehicles together being more expensive, the parts being more expensive and harder to get. So they used some decent justification, but when they did that, they really priced themselves out of the market. Before I show you that, I've got to introduce you to today's video sponsor, Daimuki. Now, we've worked with them before in the past with the metal JL phone holder, and we've got another accessory for the JLs today. As most of you know, with the JL, there's not really any side pocket storage in the doors. So the accessory they've sent out today is a solution to fix that problem. Now, they make a ton of different products, but what you'll see today is side pocket storage. And the installation for this is supposed to be extremely simple. So let's go ahead and throw it in. So first things first with these, you want to connect them right here with the provided hardware. Now, the first thing you want to do is unscrew the T15 bits here in the bottom. There should be 2 of them. And then what you'll want to do is you've got these little corner pieces on both sides. You'll slide those in the trim of the plastic right there. Then you can put your screws back in. Now, there's 3 things I really like about this product from Daimuki. You can tell it was super easy to install. It only took about a minute to fully install it. Aside from that, I really like that it used all factory locations, so if you ever do want to remove it, then it's not going to leave any holes or anything like that. And last but certainly not least, you've got to love the American flag on the side there. Now, it does more than just look cool. Obviously, it offers you a lot of extra storage here, and I think there's something that would fit there just perfectly. Of course, you can actually fit a bottle of water in there now, probably 2 of them. You get away with it just fine, and it's nice to actually be able to put water there instead of it sagging in that net. But aside from that, there's certain 2A things that would fit just perfectly in there, and that is a super secure spot. Well, a huge thank you to Daimuki for sending out another awesome product to test out. If you guys want to check these out for yourself, go down in the link in the description below. But for now, let's get back to it. Now, traditionally, Jeep Wranglers have always been pretty expensive, and their resale value has always been super strong, one of the absolute strongest in the entire car market. So it was a relatively safe investment to buy a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon and put a decent amount of miles on it, and you knew you weren't going to lose a ton of money. But it seems like that's changing pretty fast. Now, to buy a fully equipped Rubicon, you're looking at around $70,000, even without the 6.4 liter Hemi. That is absolutely insane. I've seen plenty of Jeep Wranglers come in, priced in the high 60s with their original sticker, and now we're selling those same vehicles for $40-some thousand. It's super scary. Now, to counteract that, the dealers haven't lowered their MSRPs, but for the first time in almost forever, they've been putting substantial discounts on a Jeep Wrangler. Traditionally, Jeep Wranglers never have substantial discounts or manufacturer rebates, but in today's world, that has changed. To be able to sell these vehicles, they're having to change their pricing drastically, but they're not changing the MSRP. Therefore, it is severely hurting the pre-owned market. And I say hurting, but it's kind of helping if you don't own one right now. So let's just say for a second, I was interested in getting into the Jeep Wrangler or Bronco market. There's probably never been a better time than right now. And as of this week, I've actually noticed an upward trend in the market for the first time in years on the Jeep Wranglers and Broncos. It seems like they have hit rock bottom and they're starting to go back up minimally. So say for instance, if the wholesale value of this Rubicon 392 behind me was $60,000, most of the time at auction they're probably bringing $65,000 and they're pricing them at about $65,000, $66,000 on their retail side. A lot of the dealerships right now are running on super small margins simply because they're paying so much to get nice inventory. It's a really crazy time, but say for instance, if I buy this vehicle right now for $65,000 at auction, the retail value is probably only $65,000. So I have to price it accordingly and maybe price it for around $66,000 and hope whenever the customer comes in that they have a trade that I can make some money on. Say only give them $15,000 whenever the vehicle's actually worth $17,000, so make $2,000 there, and hope they finance so we make a little bit of reserve from the bank, and maybe they buy a warranty. You really have to cross your fingers on stuff like that, but if you price this vehicle for $65,000, $66,000, and a cash customer comes in and decides to pay cash for it, then you're not going to make any money. You're just going to sell a unit. So a lot of times right now at dealerships, that's what we're seeing. And it's pretty crazy because we're having to pay so much for these vehicles. And I honestly believe that's just the market stabilizing and really finding out where the numbers need to be and where customers are placing the value. Because you have to keep in mind the market really dictates the value of these vehicles on the pre-owned side as well as the new side. If no one's buying Bronco Raptors for their $100,000 sticker, then Ford has to make an adjustment. Right now, I've seen dealerships taking $10,000, $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 off of a new Bronco Raptor. So say if it is $100,000, you may be able to get it for $85,000 brand new. At that price, I think these are pretty hard to beat, but still yet, as soon as you drive off the lot, now with the Bronco Raptors, they're dropping substantially. It's a pretty scary time to buy one of these new, but if you find it at the right dealership, you may be able to justify it and come out okay. If you get a slightly pre-owned vehicle, you can probably get around 5 or 6%, which is getting better. So whenever you combine that with the really low prices, I honestly think it's the best time. And to show you what these vehicles are actually worth, I'm gonna scan them in right now and show you exactly what I would give myself on trade if someone was to walk in the door with these vehicles right now. And guys, don't forget the last fit giveaway is still going on. You've got one last week to enter. And if you guys remember from the last video, I showed you the last fit jump box that we are giving away. Now this is a heavy duty, extremely portable jump box. All you need to do is make sure you are subscribed, like the video, and comment Godspeed. It couldn't be any more simple than that. The giveaway will end next Thursday. So if you want a chance to get one of these awesome jump boxes for free, be sure to get entered while you still can. So I'm gonna use my appraisal tool that I use at work. and all we need to do is scan in the VIN. So first of all, let's pull up the original window sticker on this Jeep Wrangler. The original window sticker was $77,985. And let's see what kind of values we can come up with here. So what you're gonna see on this is an instant cash offer of about $59,075. The Cars.com instant cash offer is gonna be really close to what KBB's offer is. After that, we've got Target Auction, which is essentially going to tell you what you should be able to sell this vehicle for at auction, which is $61,775. Then we have Target Retail, which is going to show us what we should price our vehicle at to be in line with other vehicles with similar trim options and mileage. And then we've got the MMR number of 59. And then using our pricing tool, it'll show me what's available, like the $74,000 one that has 20,000 miles. It's been on the market 162 days though. That one's $59,000 with 37,000 miles, and they go on and on. That one's $21,000. That would be a steal if that was a real deal. But as you can see here, most of the prices are going to really align under $64,000 with traditional mileage. Most of them are going to have right around 30,000 miles, but there's a pretty big difference in price. Like this one that's listed is $64,000 with around 30,000 miles. And you really see the same vehicle listed for a bunch of different prices. There could really be a $10,000 swing depending on how that dealership feels about that vehicle and how fast they need to move it. So if a customer came in and I was really pushed for a deal, I would probably put around $63,000 into this vehicle and hope to be able to retail it for around $66,000. That would be ideal, but more than likely I would have to sell it for around $64,000. And that's just the way that the market sits right now. Now let's do the same thing for the Bronco Raptor and see what we get. And this is what the market's going to look like. The instant cash offer is $68,200. Target auction $71,350. Target retail $76,675. And Manheim, what they're averaging, what they're going for right now is $67,200. So whenever we click market pricing here on this one, you'll see for 12,922 miles, it's listed for $72,995, 47 days on market. 26,000 miles, $65,287, an extremely aggressive price, and it's been on the market for 119 days. $84,000 days on market too. They'll have to change their price on that. $67,000 with only 32,000 miles, 51 days on market. 19,000 miles, 197 days on market for $69,777. 84, 72, 74, 72. So 16,000 miles, $72,000. As you can see, most of these are going to be in the low 70s. There are some outliers here like this with small modifications for $98,900, but they've been on the market for 62 days. They're going to have to change the price to be able to sell that vehicle. But as you can see, the price on these have dropped just as much as the Jeep Wrangler, maybe even a little bit more. So after putting all that information together, I honestly believe it is a super low risk situation if you want to get one of these vehicles now, whether it be a traditional Bronco or a Jeep Wrangler or a Rubicon, a Wildtrak, a Raptor, a Rubicon 392. Right now, you are in a super low risk situation, and although rates are a little higher than what we got used to after really the collapse in 08, I don't think they're going to get too much lower. But if you bought one of these vehicles during COVID or after COVID in the crazy rush of the automotive market, then just like me, you're screwed. So you might as well enjoy it, have a little bit of fun. There's really nothing you can do other than pay your way out of it. Unfortunately, right now, the Bronco Raptor I'm pretty hooked in. I thought it would be a great investment for the channel, and it has paid off, but just seeing how much the values have dropped really makes me sick. The Rubicon 392, on the other hand, it's fared pretty well. Right now, I could still probably sell it for mid-60s the way it sits and feel pretty comfortable as long as they don't watch the YouTube channel. And for the Bronco Raptor, I could probably sell it for low 70s as long as they don't watch the off-road videos, and we would be good. So there are options to get out of them. I don't plan on getting rid of either one of these right now. The Rubicon 392 I will keep as long as I can financially. The Bronco Raptor I would get rid of, honestly, pretty quickly. I usually like to get rid of them in 6 months. I've kept this one for a year because the market has dropped so bad, but I've liked it so much, I probably will keep it. Here soon, we'll probably be trading the Camaro and get something else to add here on the channel, because I think the Bronco Raptor and the Rubicon 392 are here to stay for quite a bit longer. Hope this video gave you some good insights into the car business and the automotive industry right now, the way the car market sits, and to be honest, if you guys are really interested in getting a vehicle like this, I can't stress enough that right now is probably the absolute best time. So don't wait any longer. Go find one you like and buy it. Start enjoying it and have a little bit of fun. If you guys haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see next. But until then, Godspeed.